Equal. Equal.
New group chat combos episode, man. Episode 37. You're tuned in here with the boys, man. Got Tyler here with us. Got Eli here with us, man. We're back with another one. First and foremost, I want to say please like, comment, and subscribe. It really means a lot to us. We've been putting in that work, and we love the support, man. It's been coming in heavy, and we really like it. So how y'all doing today?
Man, we're doing great. I'm doing great. Eli, I think you're doing good, right?
I'm doing good, man. Shooting
Yes,
another
sir.
pod on the best podcast in the world. What more can I ask for?
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm
Here.
saying?
You know what's going on, man. I mean, I'll say we should just go ahead and jump right into it. You know, I have a very interesting theory that I want to talk to you guys about that seen a video on and kind of did some research and everything. So I know you guys are probably pretty familiar with, you know, the whole English language and how like words really mean other things. And, you know, like, you know, I feel like a pretty popular one is you see television, you know, and then when you expand it, it's like tell-a-vision.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, things like that. So I ran across this video, started off from TikTok, and I kind of just went into like a little rabbit hole or whatever of, you know, just like
The TikTok rabbit hole.
yeah, you know, just started doing research, went out to YouTube, Google and stuff. And so the English language, the theory is that the English language is really derived from like Satanism. Okay.
Satanism.
Yes.
Never heard this.
Yes. Okay. So you know, you guys heard of Shakespeare, right? Everybody knows who Shakespeare
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Okay. So Shakespeare brought in about 1,700 words into the English vocabulary.
Okay.
So he literally with his stories created 1,700 words. All right. So another thing that I want you guys to keep that in mind. I'm also going to tell you guys this. There was an occultist, right? This is way back, you know, back in the day, right? His name was Sir Francis Bacon. And he ran a secret society group called the Speak Shakers. Okay. And it was a big group, secret society and everything like that. And the theory is that Shakespeare was not a real person. It was the secret society ran by Sir Francis Bacon, you know, of his group, who all wrote all of Shakespeare's stories, and pretty much was like he just, you know, people love Shakespeare's story so much that he was just able to like have an influence over people, and people would just love and listen to everything that was coming from Shakespeare. If you guys go and just really look at Shakespeare's stories, every single one of his stories is written completely different.
Wait. Time out. So this theory is Shakespeare was really a cult, a group of people.
Yes, it was not one person. That was a lie. It was they made it out to be that it was one person, so it just seemed like he was this revolutionary, you know, writer of stories and plays and everything like that. But in actuality, it was the secret society group ran by Sir Francis Bacon. It was just a bunch of people combined writing Shakespeare stories. That's why it would make sense why the stories are so drastically different. You know, like none of his stories, if you go, I guess you read the original like manuscript or whatever, like it doesn't seem like it's even written by the same person. That's why, you know, they look at Shakespeare as like, you know, he was so great because it's like he seems like he's a different author writing every time he writes. But in reality, it wasn't. It was, you know.
I have two questions for you.
Okay.
The first one being, are there not first-hand like sightings of William Shakespeare?
I mean, there could be, but there also couldn't be.
Okay, and then
I didn't do research on that, so that's a good question.
Okay, and then also number two, does Shakespeare push out these books for Sir Francis Bacon?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I couldn't give you an answer to that one either. I don't think he pushed him out for him. I just think Sir Francis Bacon was just like a very popular, person or whatever who ran a cult. Like he was known for being an occultist. Like in that time period, he was known for that. And I'm not done either. I got more.
Okay.
I got more to tell you guys, and I guess this will kind of help it make it a little more sense. So, if you guys look at, we have cuss words, right? Everybody knows what the cuss words are and everything like that, and cuss is kind of a abbreviation for curse, I guess you could say.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
And so when you
Cuss
look,
bad word.
yeah, so when you look at all the cuss words, think about, how they're said, and then think about how cuss words are also used when, like just like the phrases of cuss words, right? So in a video I watched, it got brought up that, you'd be like, son of a bitch, right? People would say son of a b, right? And
You saw how he looked at you and said, son of a bitch, and then looked at me and said, son of a b.
Yeah, right. What the hell? Like, what?
I didn't mean to single you out, but
That's that unconscious hate and shit right there.
but originally they were originally brought up as being curse words because you would curse yourself when you're saying it, because originally, if you would say, let's say you have Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Let's say somebody was talking about Jesus and, Jesus is the Son of God, right?
Yeah.
So they came up with these curse words, and now you're saying Jesus isn't a son of God. He's a son of a bee.
Oh, okay.
And then when you go and look at the English language and the English culture, like think people will say Jesus' name and will say a cuss word right after. They'll be like Jesus and then drop the F-bomb. Like why?
And it would make sense because, you don't ever hear let's just say other religions, who they believe in, who they worship in. You don't ever hear somebody saying blank, like fuck blank,
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always like,
Yeah,
goddamn.
yeah, exactly. So it's like those words were originally and intentionally brought up as, like
Jesus Christ with
Yeah.
like an exclamation.
yeah, like you're cursing yourself saying that, because you're not supposed to say God's name, you're not supposed to say Jesus' name in vain.
Exactly.
And it's like that's so common, even if somebody says like, oh my God or something, those are things that you're not supposed to be saying, but yet in the English culture is normalized.
It is.
No other culture, no other language is it normal for somebody to say Jesus and then drop the F-bomb when something happens or when they get mad or something,
Yeah.
So
Because think about it, bro. Like if a baby that can barely talk or a toddler says, oh my God, like no one's going to do anything or bat an eye or.
Because it's so normal and within the English language, and man, it's a lot. And
That makes a lot of sense, man.
Yeah. And it starts to make sense.
Believe that.
And I'm not really saying that, I'm not saying that Shakespeare 100% wasn't a real person. Like I said, this is a conspiracy theory, and that's not really correlated with dropping Jesus' name, God name in vain along with the curse words. But it's like all these things that are adding up within the English language. If you look at the word, like the way we spell a word, literally spelling, you know what I mean? Like, just like the television, you're spelling a word, which, if you look at what a spell is, it's
oh shit.
Makes sense.
My God.
literally like, bro, it's crazy.
What?
It's crazy. So it's like, and think back when the English language was really, I guess getting recorded, written down, everything like that. This isn't 100% facts, but witchcraft was a really big thing back then, So it's like if witchcraft had a very big influence on our language to the point where it's like we're literally cursing ourselves and putting out spells, just from talking, normally, like, it makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
So you guys,
Does make a lot of
you
sense.
guys know Hollywood, right? Everybody knows what Hollywood is, okay? Hollywood is what Hollywood actually is what like witches would make and wizards would make like their like
Potions out of?
not potions, but like their little sticks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what
Their
they
wands?
Their witch's broom?
No, they're wands.
Oh, they're
They're
wands. Okay.
Like that's what Hollywood actually is. Like that's what the type of wood they would use.
Yeah, like the certain type of wood.
Yeah.
Hollywood. Wow.
Oh shit.
It's bro, it's so much, bro. It's so crazy. I don't want to keep rambling on about this, but it's
Yeah.
like all of these things that I'm saying, like when you put them together, like, you know, it makes sense. And it's nothing you'd even really look at, you know?
Yeah.
Now, this is all a theory, but there are some things that are true, you know? Like you said, with other languages and other religions that don't use their God name in vain.
Yeah.
You never hear somebody say use Buddha's name in vain
Never.
or you know, like, so
If anything, the translation that I've heard that's close to a cuss word is like have mercy, Lord have mercy, Allah have mercy. I've heard that.
yeah.
But in like that's like the English translation of what they say.
Yeah.
That's like whenever like something really bad's going on.
Yeah.
They ask to have mercy on them. They don't curse the the Lord's name. And that's very and it all wraps up to being satanic, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Like that's pretty much like
That's
the
a
whole
fucking good. That's a good. What would the word be?
I mean, it's kind of a theory, but it's kind of not, because it's like there are some things that are facts about it that's true.
It wouldn't be a conundrum, would it? That was the word I was looking for.
Say that word again.
Conundrum.
I've never heard that word.
Yeah,
used in a
I've never heard
sentence.
that.
Yeah, conundrum.
But what is it, Emilio? That shit. That was fucking interesting as fuck. Like I said, we come into these episodes. He didn't tell us any of that before, so this is news to me, news to Tyler. That shit was fire. But I got one for y'all.
Go ahead.
That I was excited to talk about because I found it today. I was like, I got to talk about this on the pod later. So Adidas and Puma, we all know, very superior sneaker companies and
$1 billion sneaker companies.
$1 billion sneaker
Yes.
companies, both of them. Do y'all know the origin of them though?
No.
I do not.
Do you notice how it's never really portrayed ever in their ads either?
The origin?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. No.
Like, So the two owners, original owners, Adolf and Rudolf Dassler, were both born in Germany. They were brothers. And I mean, I'm gonna get into it, but to say it real quick, they were Nazis.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they were Nazis, right? The original name was, you can look it up. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it was some crazy name, right? And so they focused on making sports shoes first. And
Why is that?
that's what they were interested in.
Okay.
Adolf Dassler, to be specific, he was the one that really worked on the shoes, and Rudolf was the one that really handled the business logistics side of.
Okay,
the
so they had
business.
a real business going.
Yeah, like a real business. And they focused on sports shoes and they got their first breakthrough, and they became the first official shoe for the 1936 Germany national team in the Olympics. So everyone wore their shoes. So, like I said, Adolf worked on the shoes, Rudolf worked on the business side of it. And so, they were making themselves known. They were making a name for themselves, really getting some traction. And Hitler reached out to them and wanted them to be the official sponsor to make shoes for the Hitler Youth Club. And they had a partnership with the Hitler Youth Club and literally made shoes for the Hitler Youth Club. And so they had that. Both became members of the Nazi Party. Adolf, this is not Adolf Hitler, Adolf Dassler. He wasn't necessarily like too wrapped up into like the Nazis, like what they were really doing. He was more just like, it was really his passion to just make shoes and stuff like that.
In an Olympic team, that's lit. That's what you would make your shoes for, right?
Literally.
Yeah.
Just think Nike sponsors USA.
Yeah, exactly.
So but Rudolph was the one that he actually was like hateful,
He was a true Nazi.
Yeah, he was true. Was like real high, had real connections in the party, like all that stuff. And so Rudolph doing that, he wanted to make a deal to be the official the official people to make the boots for the Nazi soldiers.
Oh my God.
So he tried to offer that up and pitch that, but they shut that down. They weren't trying to work with them or whatever. But he was trying to do that. So, long story short, obviously we all know Nazis lost, USA back-to-back World War champions, But so like I said, Rudolf Dassler was connected very high-level officials, but he never got caught up in anything or anything like that. But Adolf, the one that wasn't really even like in it like that, he got considered to be a blastiter. Do y'all know what that means?
No,
I don't.
So a blastiter is people who tried to profit off the Nazi regime. And it was at that time after the fall of the Nazis and all that, Germany and all that stuff, that was pretty much like the second worst thing you could do other than actually be a Nazi, was try to profit off the Nazi regime. And they said he tried to do that because, like I said previously, they were the shoes for the Hitler Youth Club. So, he's making money off that. So he got sentenced to 10 years, but and then a Jew came, he got sentenced to 10 years in prison. Then a Jew came forward and was like, he's not like this. He actually helped me out, blah, 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 blah. So they shortened his sentence down to 3 years. So it got down to 3 years, and then something else happened in his favor, and then it pretty much got just like a misdemeanor or something like that. So he did like no time. And so, like I said, that happened, and then how the name Adidas came about, because the brothers like hated each other. Like they through all this, like I said, Rudolph was the one that he was one that was for the Nazis. Adolf was really
How long were they in partnership with them? Over a decade.
Yeah, it was about 10, 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And so
That's
they
crazy,
ended
bro.
up falling out, hating each other, all this stuff. And they went and made their own shoe companies. And Adolf took his name, Adolf Dassler. He took like a part of his first name and then a part of his last name. That's how you got Adidas. And then Rudolf Dassler, he did the same thing, but it would I forget the like original name, but it was something Puma, something else. And then years later, I think probably in the 50s or 60s, they just cut it down to Puma.
Bro, what the fuck?
But
Bro,
yeah,
that is insane.
that's the origin
That's
of
crazy.
Adidas and Puma.
And
Nazis.
and
Why does nobody talk about that?
yeah.
Exactly, bro.
And it's funny because it's like you said, you never see something that goes back to like the original date of Adidas or original date of Puma.
Exactly.
You always see Nike history. You always hear about what Nike
Reebok.
did. Yeah, going back to it originally being
Asics.
started up.
Yeah.
like
Asics. too.
everything besides
Yeah.
those two brands. And it's also funny to me how like the way the culture is now, like how those brands have not like even received backlash for it,
Yeah. Honestly.
even though it's in the past, it's like, they haven't received no backlash. I mean,
The owner of Adidas, who likeness with a Nazi regime, this man literally
Made money off the
made
Nazi
money off
regime.
the Nazi regime and got a slap on the wrist for being associated with the Nazis.
Yeah.
That's crazy, and he's still probably a bit. Is he alive?
He's passed.
He's passed.
Since
I mean, his kids and his kids will forever have money.
kids.
Yeah,
you
like
know.
forever. So that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
And talking about money, real good subject. I'd like to get your guys' opinions on it. What do y'all think of? Because I didn't even know this was a thing, but apparently some individuals, which they perfectly have the right to feel this way. No one's saying they don't, but think that billionaires shouldn't exist in the sense of no one should ever accumulate that much money in the same economy where someone can't even live somewhere, in a sense. How do y'all feel about that?
I'm on the fence simply because I think if all the billionaires in the world donated 1% of their finances,
Shout out 1%.
they would, yeah, for real.
1%.
Not in this sense. They would literally be no world hunger. Did you guys know that?
yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, billionaires make the world go round. And I was telling the boys before this podcast, it's just like, I think a necessity. I mean, there's a lower, middle, and upper class for a reason. Specifically in America, whenever you have big corporations and people who have like earned it, I think that's respectable. There are corporations that are probably pretty nasty on the inside that have been around forever.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, like you said, if everyone, all the billionaires came together in the world and donated 1%, it would most likely end world hunger. But the thing is I don't think people really understand, like, you need problems in societies. You need problems in economies. Not saying these problems are right, but in my opinion, there's always going to be people that are hungry. And if we somehow as a society or economy fix that, something else is just going to bloom. It's just a way of polarity in life, in my opinion, yin yang, good, evil, love, hate. you know, you need disasters in life. You need them. And that's a fact in my opinion.
You think billionaires contribute to like the poor in a sense? I would say. I mean, because essentially that's what you're kind of saying.
Do they contribute
To
in
the
what
poor
way?
people? They don't supply the poor people with food. They don't supply poor people. Like I'm talking about third world countries.
So do you think every single billionaire should be a philanthropist?
No, because that's not what every billionaire's desire is to be.
Okay.
But at the same time, like if the earth were to be sustained in a way that there were no poor people, think about how healthy this planet would be. Think about how.
So you believe in a utopia?
I just believe that society has been comfortable with just being dirty, honestly. Like pollution is at an all-time high. These things are facts, you know, and like it's just, I don't know.
I mean,
you go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence about it, you know, bro.
Do you guys know about the like obviously you guys have heard about like garbage in the sea and everything like that, but you know that like you know how I don't know if you guys probably have seen pictures of like a giant, just like a huge garbage patch in the ocean.
Yeah.
You know that there's like literally so much, like it's in one spot too. It's like an island of garbage, of plastic
Wow.
and garbage.
I didn't know that.
If people got together and like paid people who work on like cleanup crews on the water $10 million worth, bro, you know how much that would help the earth?
Yeah.
That's the selfishness and becoming a billionaire, and that's a sacrifice a lot of billionaires have to make. And, you know, I would honestly be comfortable doing that if I got to that level. But when I got to that level, there may be a time in my life where I don't think reaching that level be beneficial. You know, I may be a very high multi-millionaire, and I would be living the same life as I would, but with less stress as a billionaire.
There's definitely a certain point you get to where the next dollar you make isn't going to change your life
Exactly.
whatsoever. You know, and honestly, I feel like that number is really like 100 million, to be honest.
I would say about 250 million.
250, yeah. That's
Yeah.
Like a
better
$250
number.
million is a straight, like you'd have probably multiple corporations. You'd probably have, you know, people working for you that you don't even
Properties,
know.
assets.
Yeah. And like that would be comfortable, you know, and you'd
Yeah.
have a very big family that you'd be able to spend time with. Whereas I guarantee Elon Musk does not spend a lot of time with his family. And that's a lot. And like, that's why I respect Elon Musk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, I wish this earth was cleaner. I think the minds would be cleaner of these people.
Yeah.
I think there would be more success. You know what I'm saying? And that sounds like far-fetched or whatever, but it's like, damn, like money makes this world go round. And if it was used for more energy efficient reasons for this earth, I feel like just people's minds would be cleaner. It wouldn't be foggy like the fucking earth is becoming.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much, my standpoint is I'm pretty much with both of you guys on that. I think that I do like, I understand where you came from, Eli, as far as like there does need to be problems. Like it's not that there has to be problems, but for the world to work, just like we need billionaires and we need billion dollar companies for the world to work, you still do need the problems that need to get solved for the world to keep going, you know. But also with you, Tyler, like you said, like the contributions that one of us could make, putting in $10 to a help clean the ocean fund or something.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, you know, or like, you know what, just like the
that gets taxed.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, or like you know, us volunteering and stuff, like the power that billionaires do have. And I think that's where the people who come in who are like, oh, there shouldn't be billionaires and everything. Like it's not that they have all this money and they're not trying to help the world. It's just like, you know, they could do better with their money, but that doesn't mean that you have to take away how they even got to that point. No billionaire just got handed their billionaire status.
Fucking way.
Exactly.
There are
And I
daddy's
wanna-
money's people, you know.
Yeah.
There are generational wealths out there, and like, you know, that's a different topic. But if I was a billionaire, bro, whenever I'm a billionaire, bro, let's just put it at that.
Yeah.
If I have that opportunity to make my country cleaner, like Jamaica specifically, if I had $1 billion, bro, I would put half of that in Jamaica and just clean up the island.
Yeah.
There's so much trash that is accumulated in Jamaica and like these other countries that nobody gives a fuck about. And like, I don't know, certain billionaires, you know, don't do shit. And like, maybe that's just not what they want to do. But
The last thing,
you go ahead,
Go
then
ahead.
I'll finish it off.
the last thing I want to say that I have to say for this is just the one thing that I do think is bullshit is how, you know, every time something happens or you just hear about, about a billionaire, even a very high multimillionaire, it's like when they donate to charity and stuff like that, like you never really know what charity is going to. You never really know where the money is going. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who does donate multi-million dollars that
launders it back to them.
Yeah, it's not that, but it's like there is, I think one thing that could be good is like if it is even known where the money is going to, it doesn't have to be very specific, but like if you're going to donate to a certain fund, if you're going to donate to a certain organization or whatever, then you don't have to provide receipts for the donations, but like it would be nice to see what the money is going to, whether it's going to paying for a nonprofit organization or paying for this, paying for equipment, like at least knowing what the money is getting used on and knowing that it actually went to a certain charity, whatever, and actually funded this and funded that, then people would, that'd help out a lot for the people who are on the there shouldn't be billionaire side, so I think it's a two-headed coin. You look at it both ways.
Yeah, and I'll say this before we wrap this thing up. I just think it's and please believe me when I say this, I'm not for anyone struggling whatsoever. That's not what I'm saying. Oh, if you take it that way, take it that way. I don't really care. But I don't think it's right either to look at a billionaire and be like, you fix this problem. I don't feel like it's 10% or 1% of the world's problem to fix. It's easy to say that when you haven't made $1 billion.
Exactly.
Make $1 billion first, and then you make that decision to make that change.
Yeah,
you know
Very
what I mean.
True.
Yeah, that's facts.
It's a very double-edged sword. It's a very borderline subject. But like I said, I'm not for anyone struggling, but I also don't feel it's necessarily on 1% of the population to fix it either. So
it's a collective effort.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I'm definitely on the fence about it, because it's like that will never happen. So like I understand like that billionaire status, you're not gonna do that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you have so much other shit going on that like you couldn't even have the time to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Before we wrap this up, Thanksgiving is coming up, this week. So, we gotta talk about some type of food, and gotta ask you guys, shout out to EATWITZ'S, one of the
the best chef influencer on Instagram.
Literally the
Y'all
best.
know his name.
The best we know. He's out here. He's been grinding, putting in his work, man. And I gotta ask you guys, what are your top three to five? If you got three, at least give me three. Top three meals that you've seen him cook on his social media page.
Okay. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Have you guys ever made any of his dishes?
I haven't.
Okay, so let me start off with the ones that I have made, because those are all fire, and then I'll start off with the ones that I've seen that are also fire. I've made his blackened Cajun salmon pasta. That was fire. His ingredients and his seasoning is like perfect.
Yeah,
It's like what you want. Crab leg BLT.
Mm.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen this one where he has it in a pineapple. I think it's like a daiquiri maybe.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like a smoothie.
It's like a smoothie or something.
Yeah,
that looks fire. All his pastas are fire, bro.
Yeah,
he seasons his pasta well.
Yeah,
so it's chef's kiss.
Yeah, he seasons the. It's like the sauce.
What?
Yeah,
I'll give three out there. I'll give three from ones that I at least have tasted that he's made himself.
Oh yeah.
Number one, I'm gonna go. This is gonna be like clear cut, undisputed number one, the soul rolls, man.
Is that the one that made him blow up?
The soul rolls. I don't think it's the one that made him blow up, but it's my favorite from him. Literally, egg roll, right?
Yeah.
Egg roll, normal cabbage, chicken, everything like that. But this is a soul roll. So you got from anywhere from yams, collard greens, mac and cheese, and turkey to ham and
my mouth's watering.
Damn.
Okay.
Like this is I'll let you guys in on a little behind the scenes. This is what he did last year. I mean, he's been making these for a few years now, but what he did last year was with all of the Thanksgiving leftovers, instead of making all the food, he just bought some egg rolls, and put the food into the egg roll. With the Thanksgiving leftover food.
Yeah.
All the Thanksgiving leftover food, put it in the egg roll and threw it in the fryer.
Oh my God.
Crazy, man. That's my number one, man. That it goes crazy.
Soul roll.
Soul roll. That's my number one. For number two, I'm gonna go with they are like his like chicken chipotle tacos, pretty much, man. Them things are just like it's just so
and
good,
his beer
man.
tacos.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Them shits.
That pull apart clip.
Them shits. And for number three, I'm gonna go with I'll go with the crab cake. I'll go with the crab cake. What are they like? The biscuits you get from Red Lobster.
Yeah.
They're like the Red Lobster biscuits filled with crab.
Oh my God.
Buttered too.
Gosh.
You get some butter to dip on the side. Those are my top three, man. Them top three for sure.
Man, he be going nuts. But what is it, Zoe? When you check this out, I just have to say this one because, I didn't put it in my top three, so it'll be an honorary mention. But I've ate his sliders. They're on the Instagram page. Man,
Hey.
Billy knows. I ate about what
Hey.
he made 30. I ate 20.
Hey,
The way it went
Damn.
stupid.
look. We got to get a little story on that. We're watching football, man. Football Sunday. We're at his crib. He's chefing up, right? Put a whole platter of sliders down. We're sitting there. Okay, about time to eat. Grab some sliders, man. You see Eli, bro. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before you know it, he done ate about 6 of them hoes.
Man, I was so hungry. But those sliders went crazy. So sliders for the honorary mention, But starting at number 3, classic strawberry cheesecake.
Oh my God.
Classic strawberry cheesecake. I haven't tried it, but that's in my top 3. For number 2, firecracker salmon egg rolls.
Ooh,
Oh my God.
Those go crazy.
that sounds OD.
And then number 1, which I've had this one as well. Number 1, steak and shrimp hibachi.
Ooh,
God.
on the
steak-
Blackstone.
On the
Blackstone.
On the
Blackstone.
Blackstone. He be going nuts.
And I'm gonna give an honorary mention, man. The strawberry heat wings. The strawberry heat wings
my
that
God.
he's made, and I'm gonna say this little
Strawberry
story.
hot.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this little story, man. Shout out to Chex Grill. If you know what Chex Grill is, then you know. That's all I gotta
Man.
say. If you know, you know.
A lot of 2 a.m. nights.
Yeah. If you know, you know. I put him on to the strawberry hot wings
He did.
from Chex Grill,
did.
right? Put him on like you got to get these fire. He ate them, right? Next week you see a recipe video on Instagram. Strawberry heat wings. Nigga made his own recipe in a week. That's how much they was fire, man. But yeah, shout out EATWITZ'S, man. You know,
man.
one of the best out there. The hard, such a hard worker, man.
He actually has an ebook coming out here very soon for the Thanksgiving and Christmas seasons. Y'all be sure to tune into that. Please go get that.
Yeah, his Instagram
lot
is
of good
at
stuff.
EATWITZ'S, EATWITZ'S. So really go shout out to the boy, or really go look out for the boy and get a cookbook, man.
Yeah, for sure. Also shout out, Stony Mountain. Drop is out now, Volume 3. Please, go check that out.
Yeah.
Tyler and the boys are doing their thing, going hard. Shout out 1% Better, man. I hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving week. Eat some good food.
Eat some turkey, eat some ham, stuffing. You guys know what's
Yeah,
up.
Before we
know.
get out of here, ham over turkey.